Hello and welcome back everybody to the Geek Tech Show. And in today's video, well, if you did enjoy the show, make sure you click subscribe right down below. I want to see you become a member of the Geek Squad, which is the Geek Tech Show. Well, thank you so much first of all for watching this video. Link below how to subscribe so you can always never miss a single conspiracy review or anything else that is shown over here. And now let's get started. So how did Jeffrey Epstein, it's like sounds like Einstein or something, made so much cash? What is his secret? Well, let's start with first of all, the official story. He made all this money by simply working hard on Wall Street. And he used to be a math teacher. And the funny thing about this guy is, like, he's not qualified at all to do almost anything he ever did. And he gets to work at Bear Stearns, which is a huge financial company eventually. And he goes up the ranks. And somehow, the guy becomes a billionaire. Well, they estimate his worth to be 500 million right now. Well, I guess at some point, the guy was a billionaire. Anyways, with this much money, and how many people you know who have their own private island in the middle of nowhere? He bought his own island and he was like living right there. His own private jet, a few houses. That guy was actually maybe even richer than Trump in some ways, because Trump never actually had his own private island. He did have his own private plane. Well, I'm pushing it a little bit with the he's richer than Trump. He's probably not, but he used to be pretty rich. Now the whole thing is, how did he make this huge amount of cash? Definitely something was cooking over there. There was not, like, you don't really make this much money, billions of dollars, and coming with somebody who is a nobody becoming a billionaire. This is like unheard of. Now, yes, some people make money creating a company, IPO. That's the official way of making money. This guy went through unofficial channels. And then eventually he ends up on an island, living the life and managing other people's money. Well, Bernie Madoff made something very similar as well. He was like a nobody too. So what he was actually doing appears to me, he was managing some people's money. He was very talented. And you don't need to be really talented at making money on Wall Street. You need to be very talented at selling yourself on Wall Street and being able to convince people to trust you with their money. So once you already created some money, all you need to do next is to go to the next level and just show people that you can take this money and make even more money. And that's what he probably was doing. But there was probably so much more here to the story. He probably was doing a lot more. And yeah, there was a lot of uncovering. But I think the guy just created this thing over there. So what he did is pretty much a place for rich people to enjoy themselves in their own secret island and do things that are off the books, which were not really legal anywhere in the United States. So you can kind of go on a jet, fly it, do things over there. He provides the services for you. You pay VIP prices, and you can get away with stuff you couldn't get away with before. And yeah, and people gave him extra money to do that. So pretty much he has the official business, then the off-the-book business of like doing that stuff. Totally illegal stuff. So I'm just speculating this whole thing, but this just appeals to me that there was something like fishy going on here, and definitely this is why a lot of people, well, there was a lot of enemies for him. So because he had so many enemies, because he was doing so many things that you're not supposed to be doing, he definitely was digging up dirt for those high-end officials. So you had a high-end customer come in doing something illegal, and at the same time he would record them, and of course he would use that against them to get more money, bribes from them, letting them do something for him. And this was just like some kind of a crony kind of thing. So the guy was really bad dude. He was not a good guy in any sense. And of course he was doing all kinds of illegal stuff to get what he got in his life just for himself. And yeah, definitely not a good way of what he was doing. and the whole thing, like, eventually this whole thing came apart. Now the biggest question is, well, he got away with it like 10 years ago. Nobody cared. He like disappeared to that island, and because he had so much doubt about everybody, nobody wanted to put him in. The question is, why now? Why did somebody decided to dig up the dirt once again on this dude? Well, appears to be that he probably had some files, and those files were against those high-end officials, and of course those officials either wanted to know what was in the files, or of course with Trump election coming up in a year, maybe there was some doubt about him. Who knows? Therefore, whoever was checking it out was like, let's go ahead and get this guy and check out what kind of doubt he has on one specific person. And this is why they go up, got this dude, and put him in there. And then, of course, well, this was like 10 years later after the fact. And you have to understand, the whole case against him is, yeah, he did all those things 10 years ago, but he served his time, and that's it. The question is, although it wasn't justice back then, he still cannot be actually prosecuted for the same offense that he committed already. So that would be like Jeopardy, which is you can't actually do that. So like about a year ago, Trump signed something called the Sex Trafficking Act, which actually means that you can prosecute people under a new charge, which actually opens like a whole new box that now we have R. Kelly, we have some other people who can get prosecuted. They couldn't get prosecuted before because we have a new charge, which means it's no longer double jeopardy anymore because you are actually prosecuting them on something new. But this is the big but here. Although he was able to get prosecuted for something he already did, but the guy already served his time, which actually leads to the question is, can you actually slap a new charge on something he already did in jail? Although maybe he did in jail and he got some extra favors, but the whole thing is the case. He had the money, so he potentially he could use that money and totally dismiss the whole entire case, which I was suspecting that the guy was already in jail. He can get a bailed out. I mean, they could put his bail for like 20 million. He could pay easily that 20 million and get out of jail. The next thing is, what about him getting prosecuted for those charges? Well, the question is, his lawyers. He can afford a whole team of lawyers for millions of dollars, and the county prosecutors, do they have enough money to charge him with that? That would be like years-long trial. And now the question is, of course, did he, kill himself? I mean, you would have to understand, like, if he has such a chance to get out, like all those documents that they dug on him, I mean, were they like so bad that you knew that the guy was going to make like 20 years jail or something like that, that he wanted to just end it? Of course, living in jail is nothing like what he lived before, but not everybody would like just end it like that. Last time he was in jail and he got out in less than a year. So he had special treatment too, so you have to think outside the box here. What is going on here? What is going on? So I created a previous video on this topic as well, and there's going to be a link right there in case you want to check it out about this topic, what I think actually happened to him. And of course, this is all pure speculation. But regardless of the speculation, of course, think sometimes outside the box, and I have another interesting videos on my channel, such as the Moon Conspiracy video. Well, I'm actually exploring something for you. I'm showing you that there is other ways to put into perspective certain events that you see in the news. It's not always what you see. I'm not saying this is fake news. I'm just saying you should always question the news, because it's not always what it appears. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this show, and if you did enjoy and you really like my show, make sure you subscribe to it. I want to see you in another episode. Thank you.